Hi, this is James Rosenblum. A little while ago, I posted a video about Beethoven variations in C minor, 32 variations. So, what I'm going to do here is just go through a little bit of how I want to practice this piece to improve the sections that I think need a little bit of work. So, if you go and watch that video first, that will give you kind of a good introduction. I was sort of happy with the first three variations. There's little things to touch up, but I'm going to start here maybe on variation 5, and we'll go on from there. So variation 5, first thing that I saw when I watched my own videos there is obviously the memory wasn't really secure. So how do I improve that? Well, I start off with I can look at it harmonically. I start off with a C minor chord here, root position. I can take this with 3 if I have a big hand, 3, 2, 1, or 4, 4, 2, 1. But the right hand, we just have the outline of a C minor triad there, starting or E flat to C. And then G. So bum, 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 bum. That's a C7 chord. So. And of course F major. So we start with C minor, G major, G major, C7, F major, D major, so C major to F minor, staying in F minor, staying in F minor to here. The harmony is a little bit elusive here, but it gets to C minor. So if we leave out the leading notes here, we can get a better sense of the harmony, and thus it will help our memory a little bit when we're practicing the piece. So C minor starting from here to C major to F minor to C minor, and let's start the next variation right away. Now I want to be careful when I'm doing these memory tricks not to also mess myself up by destroying the muscle memory too much. So if I'm doing all the time, then when it comes time to play it, I might do that instead of this. So I want to make sure to practice that as well. Yeah, this one. That's a little tricky because we're getting wrong notes. I think I hit one wrong note in there, so I'm going to go look at right there. Alright, and now I'm going to pay a little bit less attention to the camera and just try to focus on music, and we'll see how that turns out. hit a wrong note probably in this little chromatic section here. Beginning to the next variation. It's fun to play that. All right, we'll try one more time. I was playing that instead. So when it goes up there, I'm having a little bit of trouble, so I'm going to fix this section up a little bit. One of the things here is to try to figure out the fingering. So we have this reach here, which is we could play it with 1/5. We could do 5/4/5, or 4/3/5 is probably better if we want 5 on the F here. The fingering written in the score is 1/4/3, 2/1/4, 2/1/3. It's fine. It doesn't use 5 at all. It kind of avoids that and uses stronger fingers. It's okay, but I want to keep playing around with that, see if we can get the best possible fingering. So here we just have a diminished ascension here. We could do 5/4/3 on these top notes, then 2, and then 3 or 5. For this, I kind of like the mental aspect of doing 5/2/1. If your hand is kind of big enough to do it. You could also do 1/5/1, then group 4/3/2/1 here, but I actually had written that in there, but I don't think it's going to stay. So that was pretty good, except for the last little bit we messed up a little bit. I like 5/4/3 here. It's just, this is a 5th. We have to have suitable fingering to jump. We could do 2 and then 5. Since it's staccato, we don't have to try to legato that up there, that suitable fingering. So 5/4/3/2, 5. Okay, let's try that again. Actually, we'll take a look at the left hand too. Now I have my pencil here to mark these fingers. I think we're going to want to change what's written in the score. We have 3/1/4 written in the score. I don't see a reason to do that rather than 3/2/4/5. So we'll change the 1 to a 2 there. Um, so in the right hand we have two diminished ascension patterns there. And they're just alternating in the right hand. Okay, so let's try that again. I'm going to put my new fingering in here. I'm going to use 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 5, because we're going to jump to 5, as I showed you earlier. And that seems pretty good. So there, I was just messing up in the left hand a little bit. I'm going to fix up that section. This I messed up a little bit, so I'm going to fix that as well. So how do I fix it? Well, I slow it down. I play it by itself so I can really focus on it. Sometimes, I mean, I'm not as much of a proponent as of separate hand practice, maybe as some other teachers or pianists, but because I do think there's benefit for playing the hands together and trying to figure it out together. It's certainly much clearer to show on a video, though, what I'm doing, and it can accelerate the learning process. But at the end, you really have to get both hands together. So that's what you want to focus on. Whether you can skip a step and not do the hands separately is another question. It kind of depends on each individual pianist. Close. It's getting better here. Alright, so you can see it's getting a little better there. Maybe we'll put it together. Okay, not perfect, but you get the idea of how that's improving a little bit. And what did I mess up on there? Maybe my hand's not quite big enough to do 5, 2, 1 so comfortably. But all right. The next variation. I should make a note here that when I move on from a variation here, it's not 100% here. Like if I really had a concert tomorrow and I was preparing a piece, I wouldn't move on there. I would keep working on that. It might get a little boring for you guys. That's why I'm cutting it short a little bit. And I don't want to bore the audience. I want to give you something useful that you enjoy. Anyway, so this next variation, variation 7. If I recall from the video, I had a little bit of memory trouble with this, but now I'm doing it with music, so we can check out the notes here. jump. I'm just gonna practice that. Now I could practice it backwards as I was doing a little bit there. The issue is that it's not really teaching the same thing. I really want to get the jump up to practice the muscle memory there. And you want to be to practice this so you're loose enough. You have to have strong fingers to be able to do this kind of stuff with Beethoven. It does take some work to get the fingers strong enough, and because otherwise you're going to start compensating for the lack of strength with stuff like improper technique. So. Couple ones are a little tough. Now if I can take this with 4-3 here, 5-1-4-3, that is nice for the next set because I don't have to move as far. My hands are not really big enough to do it very comfortably. I think that's a fine fingering though if you can do it. Otherwise I'm using 2-3 for these chords in the middle. When you have this kind of movement where you're jumping up the triads with some chords in the middle, if you can do like a 4-3, it really helps. But it's not mandatory, and you can still play this with smaller hands. So same thing here. I could do 4-3 maybe. I'm making a little bit of a strained face there sometimes, and that's really to try to focus on the mental picture of where are my hands going. So I'm doing an F major triad going down here, or a G major triad. So from here I have to jump all the way here. These jumps, you have to have a mental picture of where your fingers are in the key, where your hands are in the key, where you need to jump to. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.